Okay, so we've got regionals coming up in a few weeks, and we're really going to discuss what we think are the best plays, the good decks. I think personally, Lux Chomp, because of our timing system, is really strong. Though in testing, I found Dialga Chomp is so far beating it, unless you check in like the 1-1 Blaziken. I'm actually no, I know, with the timed format and everything,
See, I disagree there, Jake.
it's
I'm
not as
sorry.
good. Well, let me just finish my point. I know, I know. In times, Gengar isn't quite as strong because people can slow play you and all that stuff. But I'm a massive fan of Gengar Vileplume, so I don't know. We'll get into the depths and the details of the decks, and that's what our discussion is about.
Wait. Hold on a second. So you guys mentioned those three decks. Like, what about Gyarados? I think that deck is like super strong
Excuse me,
right
Nick.
now.
I believe I had the next point.
Oh,
Oh, I actually don't
sorry.
Uh,
yeah,
I
Ben
think
was in the queue.
Yeah,
I think Valgar is unfortunately a very weak deck. Like until you get to top cut, because best to 130 minutes, a good luck strong player,
We'll be able to beat you
they'll be able to beat you like
by taking
almost
full
every time.
prices,
They'll
right?
take
Yeah.
the prizes when they need to, and you just can't do anything about it.
Yeah.
I think 1-1 Blaziken isn't necessary. I think you can win either way, and it may just make it more inconsistent, if anything.
Yeah, because
Okay.
it stops you from doing your game plan where you just like take a bunch of cheap prizes quickly so you can win on time, which is how
Yeah,
Luxtron beats Dialga anyway.
of course. I see. In testing, we've not really timed it. Like, by the way, this is 2010. In testing, we've not really timed our Dialga Chomp Lux Chomp matches, so that's the reason Dialga's won most of the time because we've not thought about the four price that 30 minutes rule. What's what we need to do, guys? We need to time when we test. Can't
Yeah.
believe this.
Yeah,
We're letting down the whole team.
You were saying about Gyarados, Nick.
Yeah. I think that deck is
Yeah,
super
that was
strong
the next
because that deck can obviously just it has the same sort of taking prizes quite quickly capability of Lux Chomp. It's a little bit easier for players to pick up. I think it's a needed deck to learn how to play.
By the way, just quickly, since we are recording, this bit is all a joke, and we're going to talk properly in a minute. But I hope no one's switched off yet. I really hope we haven't lost views.
Like,
no, we get the views regardless. It's fine.
Yeah,
switch
Jake,
off anytime.
let's be completely honest. I think more people will actually be interested because the fact we're actually talking about that than compared to like if we're talking about standard. I mean, who gives a shit about standard? This is just boring, Talk about Lux Chomp, yeah, go for that shit straight away.
Gyarados is kind of the deck I like. Like I know it's kind of a sin to mention the word playstyle when it comes to these games, but what I mean by playstyle is I tend to mess up less with a certain type of deck. I have it in my head a game plan with a certain type of deck, much better than other types. Like I can handle a deck that sort of has a field and is hitting quite quickly, fairly aggressively, like Gyarados, or in 5 years' time, Mega Manectric. And I'm not so good with deck where like you slow the whole game down, say with Vileplume, now and in 5 years, in fact.
Yes.
Actually, no, Vileplume was Undaunted. Yeah, it was 2010, wasn't it? Yeah, so
Yeah, it was.
5 years. It took them 5 years.
In
I think
fact,
the problem with Gyarados is that you do lose to any Valgar player who plays Frostlass because they drag up the Regice, which is the only way you're going to
I
get
thought
magic
you were
ups
going
in
to
the
say the
discard.
special energy Frostlass.
No, the Frostlass that brings out a Pokemon and puts it to sleep.
Yeah.
Regice, and they need to get a Warp Energy, otherwise you're just sniping 60 on the bench over and over again.
Exactly.
Broken.
Yeah, that's why I think Gyarados is fun, but I probably wouldn't take it to a regional. If I was going to take a kind of fast aggressive deck, I'd just take Lux Chomp, and tech heavily for the mirror.
Yeah.
Ambipom, Dragonite. But then you also need like...
No, what's your opinion on 2-2 Chomp or 3-1 Chomp?
I'm personally a fan of the 2-2 because I want to be attacking with, I was about to say the Mega, with the level X.
I agree with that point, and I'll expand on that by saying the thing is about playing 2-2 is that the level X is another resource you can use in terms of either the Healing Breath or the Bright Look, both of which are super important. And if you play 3-1, then essentially if you want to use either of those powers more than once, you have to burn a poker turn, and eventually you just run out of poker turns.
I like 2/2 with the Luxray as well, of course.
Yeah. I mean, that
So
especially
Dialga-
helps Lux Chomp, the Valgar matchup.
Dialga, I think 3/1 is what I run.
What?
Interesting.
I disagree.
Because you just want to you just deafen loads.
Yeah,
Then
but
you
you
build
want
up
you
one
want to
Dialga.
use Healing Breath more often in that deck.
Oh no! I run the 3/1. I run 3/1 Dialga.
Oh right.
2/2 Garchomp, obviously, but 3/1 Dialga because you want to deafen and then go into the big Dialga that can't be killed. You don't need 2 big Dialgas that can't be killed when you're attaching 4 energy.
How long are we going to keep this up for?
Okay. All right, guys. Let's end this joke. How long was that joke?
That was a 7-minute joke.
Wow, that's a bit much. Okay. Well, we're going to be talking about the upcoming regionals. The first 3 are solely within this current set, or up to this current set, and then the next 3 include the upcoming set as well. So, I mean, we can discuss that a bit. I think we know mostly what's coming out in that, right?
I think we have
I have no idea, if I'm honest.
I think we have the entire list of cards which are new to obviously the equivalent of the set in Japan, but our set's going to be quite a bit bigger, and there's some certain surprises to do with reprints, especially that we're getting that weren't expected at first.
Okay, well, everyone, you can look forward to that in our next set video, which hopefully will be about 2 hours again. So, but okay, so first let's talk about the first 3 regionals pre
Breakthrough.
Yeah, Breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a grim name, isn't it? Breakthrough.
Deep Hurricane's a grim name.
Yeah.
So guys, what do we think are okay? Let's go around the table. Your top 3 picks, deck wise. Benjamin.
Do you mean that I think will be played, or
that are the best decks, the most likely to win, not just best.
To win.
Actually, no, that comes into the discussion, I think, because there's a deck you can expect to top 8 more often, perhaps.
Yeah,
but
win. I think Manectric Regice, either by the sheer amount of people going to be playing it, or the fact it's a consistent deck, will just get multiple top 8 spots because of the fact it's consistent and it's one of those decks that just gets there. Kind of like Yveltal expanded, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yes, it's sort of taken Yveltal's place as the go-to deck almost. It's strange, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of it's not the 50-50 deck, weirdly enough. I think it actually has not autos, but Lucario Bats, I think, is 70-30 or 80-20, but still. Yeah. The number of Manectrics. Yeah, I can agree with that. What about
Lucario Bats? I was going to say that's probably another one, which I think it's been dominating league challenges all around the country. In London, Nick, you won or came second with it in, where was that, Norwich or Bexley?
No. That was I came second with Lucario Bats at Bexley Heath, and it was it was a resistance second. I had the exact same record as Kyle Blake, who came first, and I actually beat him in Swiss. So.
So that's been doing well, and it's just a very consistent deck, and it seems to not have any terrible matchups as far as I'm concerned.
No, I'd say actually, if anything, Lucario Bats is more the 50-50 deck. Would you guys agree with that?
Yeah, I think that's fair.
I think weirdly enough, not enough people have hit onto it as a good deck, which hopefully they will now. I think a lot of players I've spoken to have, but maybe not the whole country, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I could definitely agree with that. Yeah.
Our Paul, who we stole from the rest of the world and keeping him to ourselves. I think he's won 3 or 4 league challenges with it, basically, or maybe it's 2 or 3.
Yeah, I think he found it quite easy to transition over because he played Lucario Landorus Bats for a bit, and not Lucario Landorus Bats, but he played Landorus Bats for a bit, and he sort of essentially just switched to Landorus's.
Played Lucha Bats,
yeah. He played 4 Lucha Bats with Landorus at Worlds to a very good record, unfortunately missing. And in fact, as I said to him, what I found at Worlds was every time I tried to change the list he had, I went back to his list after one game, and it's quite so he's shown some clear dominance with the deck. Ryan Morehouse has won 2 league challenges with it.
Yeah.
I had a lot of fun against him at Manchester playing a Vespiquen Golurk.
Oh my god.
Where I didn't change. I meant to change one of the switches that I had to an AZ, and then at the end of the game, he Lysandered something. I had 3 VS Seekers sitting in my hand, and both switches in the discard pile. That was a lot of fun though. Yeah, he took that to 2 first places, I think. It's been
yeah. I think the last deck that I need to pick out of the top 3, I think it has to be some sort of Giratina variant.
Yeah.
Like I think Giratina Valplume is very weak, honestly.
Okay. I was going to say one deck I think beats Lucario Bats, but I'll get back to that. Just finish your point, sorry.
But yeah, I think it just seems too weak against a lot of the format.
Yeah,
it's too
slow, maybe.
Too slow and too easy to get around if you're like somewhat smarter player. And I don't know, but I feel like Giratina is just such a strong card that there has to be something that someone will break with.
I think it's similar to what I sort of ended up saying when we were doing the set review. That I think those are my exact sort of feeling where I said that something somewhere is going to make this card just really good. Yeah,
maybe Toad Giratina, because some people are very good at flipping coins.
I think even in standard,
heads, super scoop up heads.
I think even in standard that deck's fine. You have to play it a bit more kind of like a lock deck rather than a deck where you laser and stuff like that. But you have to play it with reams of hammers and stuff like that because you're doing damage much slower without lasers. But
yeah. And also, I think it's nice because I think Giratina was exactly sort of what Toad needed, and in terms of making up for the damage output, which we said Toad was lacking in standard, to actually be a decent deck right in standard.
I think personally, and in fact, I wasn't going to say this, but Giratina is like the one thing I think Lucario can kind of struggle with because your damage can be limited reasonably well. If say it's a Toad Giratina type deck, sorry. Your damage can be limited because you can't put down the Fighting Stadium, you can't put down the Muscle Band, you can't put down the Strong Energy.
It literally counts as like the free damage boosters for the deck.
Exactly. Your Horluche is limited to 60. You can get some bat damage in. Let's say Hexmaniac you. But the deck I think that actually properly beats Lucario Bats is actually Regice Vileplume. But again, I don't rate that deck too much because of how it has to draw.
Yeah.
You have to get like turn 1 Vileplume, turn 2 Resistance Blizzard, or that's it.
Which is pretty ridiculous.
Yeah. So some sort of Giratina variant. And we know of many.
Yeah.
We don't need to say we might have a couple hidden. Wink to the camera.
Is this you going through your list of free decks now, Jake, or are you just?
No. It was you next.
No, that was my 3. So my 3: Manectric, Regice, Luke Bats, and some sort of Giratina. Probably Toad Giratina.
Okay.
Yeah, I can respect that.
Okay, so am I going next?
Yeah.
Okay, so my list is going to be quite similar, but there's going to be one difference. I'm gonna let's see where we're to start with this. Actually, maybe there's going to be... Yeah. So, I'm definitely going to agree with Manectric Regice as a deck to top 8 with. I think it's a deck which I won a league challenge with back in Norwich, and it just does what it's meant to... Sorry?
I said you go, girl.
Oh, thanks. It's just a deck that works, honestly, and in standard there's not a lot right now that just sort of works off of very little. It seems like everything has to sort of try harder to be consistent, and Manectric is one deck that can sort of get away with that a bit less, and for that same reason, that's also why I think Lucario Bats is also going to be a really good choice for top 8 and maybe even winning, especially now that more people are catching on to it, and because it's obviously a semi-counter to Manectric. There's just those 2 decks are really good. For my 3rd pick, though, when it comes to Giratina, I don't think people's lists are good enough yet still to make it broken, to make it viable enough to win a tournament with. So my 3rd pick is actually going to be some sort of straight Rayquaza variant. I've seen a lot of them actually doing quite well recently. You've got the really good Hooper engine, so you can do Hoopers with Shamans to draw cards and search out like a Mega, as well as the non-mega one, and you can just have that free one Ultra Ball for 4 Pokemon essentially, which is just insane. A really good way to refill your bench as well. And there's just a lot going for the straight Ray variant right now. Not Metal Ray, because I think that deck sucks without Floatstone. But
it feels okay against Luke Bats. So I don't think it's. I think it's actually a pretty fun matchup. I dare I say, in standard format, there's actually a fun matchup because it comes down to like the numbers of Luke Bats. If you can hit those just right, or if you can Lysander Shaman, like especially fun plays I've had before, like Lysandering a Shaman, then replacing the stadium and watching them have to discard like Mega Ray because they've got only like good things down on the bench after discarding 3 Shamans and 2 Hoopers.
Wait, how do they be discarding 3 Shamans and 2 Hoopers? You can only discard like 3, the bench goes up to 8.
I think he means like over the course of the game.
Oh, right, okay, yeah.
Like the problem with Ray is that there's no egg now, so there's no guaranteed bench space to keep replacing.
Yeah, it's why Hooper becomes really, really important. But yeah, the fact that we do have Hooper as a thing now as an engine to make the deck work a bit better and to refill the bench, I think it gives it a decent shot in standard. And the fact that it's done decently at a couple of events already, I think it's probably going to take a few top spots, maybe even a couple of victories in the upcoming regional season.
I think it's going to take a couple of victories.
Okay, 1 victory, maybe. I should say a couple, because there's only like 6 regionals that can be won by certain decks.
Okay, I'm just going to go and say I don't think it's going to win a regionals.
Fair enough.
I think it'll top 8.
I think it'll top 8 some, like get some multiple top 8s and top 4.
But you don't think it's good enough to win?
So, like, I think when you go into regionals, sometimes you need to kind of, like, what do you want to achieve? Do you want to go for the win and maybe make a deck that has a less chance of getting to top 8? Or do you want to make a deck that can just get to top 8? And you're happy with that.
Yeah, and see, that's victory. Of course, I should add a little caveat to all of my list choices, and that is because of my luck, I'm almost certain that every single one will contain at least 1 copy of Hexmaniac.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Actually, not all of them. Lucario Bats, I think, can get away without running it.
Yeah, it can, but people are still playing it. Yeah.
Yeah, it just can run it. That's kind of better sometimes. I'll go through mine now. I think again I'm going to have to agree with you two on the the very obvious Manectric Regice. It's going to get loads of top 8, top 4. I mean, it might not win a single regional because something might shut it down. Like say, even Regice Vileplume might be able to beat it in some cases. Lucario Bats and things like that.
Yeah.
There are decks that beat it.
I think it's honestly the deck that will see the most top 8 placements, but it may not actually win a regional.
But yeah, it's weird actually because I'm thinking about other reasons people play it, and I think it's just because it's known. It's not a cheap deck, so that's not really. It's not a cheap thing. You need like 4/3 Manectric or 4/4 Hooper Shamans.
Actually, I don't know. Having said that, Manectrics and Megas aren't really ridiculously expensive, and Hooper's a tin promo now. It's mainly just Shaman, which is expensive for every deck. So I don't know. Maybe that is the reason.
It's still
I don't think so.
Decks though.
Like if you're going out to buy like what's it called Manectrics, you can just as easily go and buy Giratinas or Rayquazas or Lucarios. Like it's the same price either way.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, okay, a point I was going to make is where I differ from you two on the third choice, and that's only because I want it to happen so bad.
Oh, well, hold on. So you didn't say, so your second choice is obviously Lucario Bats then? You didn't actually talk about that.
Sorry. Yeah. I agree with you two completely on that.
Yeah.
Lucario Bats is obviously, like, I think it can win. I mean, if it won the first 3 regionals, I wouldn't be surprised. Is basically what I'm saying. Like if it won,
I'd be a little bit surprised, but I
if it won all 3, I wouldn't be that. I'd be a bit like, no, I'd be like, well, someone should have stopped that week too, but no one did. It's like I can imagine it, say, losing in top 8 to like a deck that like Vileplume Regice, but then Vileplume Regice just losing in cut then. A deck I think that someone's gonna like, because the cards are cheap, right? Someone's gonna find some way to build Vespiquen that actually makes it good, and I reckon it will do well enough. I know Ben disagrees. I've built some very kooky list that I'm definitely wanting to try out. At
Oh, actually, you know what's going to happen?
What?
Adam Hawkins. He's going to top 8 at regionals with Vespi just because he's Adam.
That's exactly what's going to happen.
He always top cuts a regional, like no matter what deck he plays.
I think
previous season, how many regionals did he do well with that?
I know. I think when I was at his last night, we were trying to rebuild the Vesperquen deck that we took to the League Challenge recently, and it just wasn't working out. There was we tried several different versions that it just wasn't going anywhere. So maybe I'm wrong on that.
You know, I find it so strange because the thing is about Vesperquen is that it's obviously tearing up Expanded. I mean, all you have to do is look at the regional results in America and see how many top spots that it's gotten there to see how well it's doing, mainly paired with Flareon. Maybe that's the missing ingredient. I don't know.
It's because you have much more attackers.
Yeah,
you have 8 attackers. It is just that really.
Yeah. It's weird though because you think I guess from an outsider's perspective you wouldn't think that would make that much of a difference, but it actually really does. It's kind of strange.
It does. I played Flareon at our nationals last season, and the major weakness of it was if you started an Eevee and they somehow got a turn 1 knockout on that, that's one of your Eevees gone, and you have 3 attackers for the rest of the game, which isn't only 90 HP, 100 HP attackers.
And I tell you what's very easy to knock out: Combi.
Oh god, yeah, that's very true.
40 HP. I mean, 2 Golbats hit it.
Combi can be donked by Latios. What is that?
I mean, it won't be because in a Vesperquen deck you'll play about 20 basics, so you'll probably, if you get 1, you'll get 2. But I think there is. It's not broken, but I think there is some build of it that's going to be good enough to at least top cut. I don't know if it'll necessarily win.
You know what's going to happen? Someone is going to look up the. No, wait, this wasn't recorded, was it? Remember when I had that rant about Vesperquen Night March? Someone's going to build that and top regional with it, and I'm just going to be
Thanks for that, Nick. That's exactly the deck I built.
God damn it, Jake.
That's exactly the deck. I posted it 4 times in the last 2 days on Team Cake. I've started building it once. I went, I'm going to up the Pokemon count to 29. I nearly upped it to 30 today. I nearly upped it to 30.
Jake, why do you do this to me? Just why?
I don't.
Well, you're doing it to yourself, Nick. He posted it multiple times.
I forgot. I honestly was not even paying attention. I guess that's what I get for not paying attention.
I'm not going to read out the list or anything. But I mean, it's actually been I don't think Ben would let me play it, so I don't know. But it's actually been working all right.
No, forget about Ben. I won't let you play it.
Okay, well, I don't think anyone's going to let me play this deck, but it's proving to be very fun at least. I finally lost 1 game with it yesterday, I think.
Should we maybe talk about what we think the worst 3 decks are, or the worst 3 decks we wouldn't advise you to run, maybe?
Yeah. You mean that you expect people to be hyping, but aren't necessarily that good?
Somewhat hyping, yeah.
Can we start straight off with Giratina and Vileplume?
Yeah, that's going to be my first.
Okay, who's going to... Or let Nick go first, then. Or let Jake go first, since he went last time.
Okay. Giratina Vileplume, obviously, it's... I mean, it's not that expensive a deck, which is why I think people are going to go for it. I don't know. It just doesn't seem to do enough. You run... I think you're limited to running 8 energy for it, and you need to find those under your own Vileplume lock. If you get Lysander, you have to AZ, and you will run 4 because you have to. There's no if a Giratina gets heavily damaged, you can't be AZing that. That's 2 of your energy gone. It gets hit. Any deck that plays Megas also plays the baby of that Mega who can hit you for heavy damage. And Hexmaniac. Hexmaniac shuts off both parts of your deck. The both things that make it good. The fact that Giratina is shutting off Megas, and then they can also play items and whatever to draw more. It's not very good.
And this is all assuming you get a turn 1 Vileplume and energy on Giratina.
You have to get the turn 1 Vileplume and turn 2 Giratina.
This is assuming you get perfect luck.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on.
Another deck, which is it's very weird what I'm about to say, but I do recommend no one try Vesperquen because you need to have a perfect list. This is, I mean, I think someone with a basically perfect list, or top 8 or top 4 or something, but I think you need you. It's too much time wasted trying to perfect a list when you could just pick another deck.
If you're not too confident in your deck building, I'd say I wouldn't recommend Vespiquen maybe.
Yeah, I
I'd say a more
can agree with that.
straightforward deck like Manectric.
I've lent Vespiquen to a friend because he wanted to take it to his local league, which is actually would be my local league at home, in Eastbourne, and he's having fun with it. But after sending him the whole 60 cards, I'm probably gonna have to send some more after changing the deck list. So, I mean, I think it can be broken. I'm not sure Night March is the way to do it. By the way, I've tried it. You're welcome. Everyone is welcome to try that. And then
Don't,
report back to me
Jake,
your findings.
Jake, don't worry. I will have words to say about Vespiquen Night March. So don't worry, I'll cover that.
Oh, don't edit it out though. Everyone needs to know the truth.
No. I don't. I mean, as in words, as in to say for like my list. Okay, carry on.
Yeah. Okay, so yeah, Vespiquen. You have to basically, unless a complete genius has built you the deck, or you are a complete genius, don't play it. So to my friend Steven, right? Probably I'm going to give you a different deck, but because I'm not a genius.
Oh.
Yeah.
But I mean, if I become a genius in the next few weeks, you can play it, and then I'll make it a bit better.
Okay. And what's your third pick then?
Third pick. Let me think. You mean so we're thinking about hype decks, really. Decks that are pretty good, or decks that are good enough for people to want to play. Okay, another deck which people seem to like a lot, but or a type of deck that people like, and that's like stage 1 things with the Flareon line, Flareon, Jolteon, that stuff. Like I've seen it with Excadrill, Dugtrio, Golurk. What else? God, I don't know.
There's been all sorts, hasn't there? Yeah, it's strange.
I've seen it with.
It's a gimmick at best, really. Come on.
Exactly. I've seen it with Raichu. Someone used a Golbat Supercross against me when it was Lightning type.
Oh my god!
Wow.
And it's a bit. It is like unless in Vespiquen it's kind of okay, or in the when it's only okay in Expanded when you put one Jolteon in your deck. That's the only time that gimmick is okay, because the blacksmith gimmick with Vespiquen it's just too much hassle. Because you'd rather just be running Flareon and Expanded. I just don't think it's
blacksmith to that. Yeah.
Oh, right. Yeah, you blacksmith to Flareon instead.
Yeah, exactly. Rather than the because it's just sitting there on the bench being a support Pokemon. And in history, here are support Pokemon that I think are good: Blastoise, Electric, even Archeops because of the expanded format with evolutions. Shaman, I know it doesn't sit there, but it's done something as it comes into play.
Yeah.
Flareon, it makes you a type which doesn't hit much for weakness. Jolteon, the only thing really you hit for weakness right now is what's it called? Rayquaza, which plays out.
And you don't even hit that for weakness unless if they have an Altaria, and then if you hex the counter the Altaria, then your Jolteon's shut off anyway. So
yeah, like people have tried to build Golurk. Golurk is dual type already. And then, look, it's 3 more types. It's like, okay, great, but those types hitting for weakness, okay, that will happen a bit on Manectric, which the Golurk is itself anyway. Yes, you can blacksmith to it, but it still takes 4 energy to power that thing. And even 3 with Dimension Valley, the stadium can be replaced a lot by Manectric, and Manectric's run flash energy. And good luck putting Enhanced Hammer in a deck like that when you put so much base for your Pokemon lines. It's a bit gimmicky for me. And, I'm a big fan of gimmicks in this game. I always like to come up, try and build something silly and see if it works. Night March Vespiquen. But I always try and build something fun, just to have a play around with. And then generally I like to use something actually serious at a tournament. Or like in Poleon Magnezone when, I spent weeks making that deck. Only then, but it's just not good enough.
Okay.
I think I've said enough now.
All right. So for my three, can I? Okay, I'm going to start on a bit of a rant, but I'm going to go into like more depth as to why I particularly don't like not Giratina, say Giratina Vespiquen. What's that? Night March Vespiquen.
Oh my god,
Oh my
Nick broke
God.
the format.
You've broken it. Because we're always like, oh, what extra energy do you run? Well, fire for blacksmith. Oh, you could run metal and put bronze on, or fairy for free retreat against fairy stuff. But no, you put in double dragon, and you played your Giratina as well. Brilliant.
Nice one, Nick.
Well, okay, you're welcome for that, everyone. But but going back to Vespiquen Night March, the reason why I just really do not like that deck at all is because it's not good in the same way as Flareon is in terms of giving yourself more attackers, like another strategy or whatever. It's putting way too much more pressure on needing to hit your DCEs and like having something else to attack with DCEs, because obviously if you're running Night Marches, you're not going to have room to play Flareon, so you can't really support the Blacksmith tech like you would have otherwise. And it's just you have so much pressure on to just like attack with these DC attackers, and there's just that's also the main thing it was for me, the fact that that you're just so strained on what you can attack with.
I think the lack of Mew makes it impossible to play that.
Yeah, exactly. Because you're already the Night March deck just on its own without Vespiquen is already strained without Mew. Like you're putting more strain on it, but having to do Vespiquen as well, it just can't work in my mind. I just really do not like that deck at all.
If you're running the Night March attackers and Vespiquen, that's 12 attackers for 4 DCE.
Yeah, it doesn't work.
Like, this is why it's probably why I've had a problem when I've been trying it.
Yeah, quite possibly. So
I mean, the only way. Oh, sorry, Nick. The only way I think you can fix it is by playing a Bronzong, but then Bronzong isn't. There's no float stone, so
no. So you're screwed unless you can AZ, and I've had to put in like 2 AZ, I think, just to make sure.
Yeah. So so that's me. That's basically just to sort of explain. I don't just like hate it for just no reason at all. I just there's actually a different reason why I just don't think it's a great deck. My second pick, I mentioned this briefly when I talked about straight Rayquaza, but Metal Rayquaza I really don't like right now. Because I just think without Floatstone, exactly for the reasons you mentioned, because you're so reliant on Bronzong, it's just very easy to bring something active and have it stuck there. You have to play it multiple AZs, and that's just very, very awkward to manage.
Yeah, you have to run 2 or 3. Mm-hmm. I'm not even joking. You can't just run 4 VS Seekers for that.
Yeah, and he has to play on top of that, at least some combination of 3 Escape Rope and Switch as well. Otherwise, you just cannot.
Yeah, I mean, unless you just always have Versus Seeker in hand.
Yeah.
But if you do that, then
But even then, that won't be good enough, because sometimes you just want to draw more cards. So sometimes you need Switch and draw more cards. So you can't even VS for your AZ. It's just.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at least with actually no. Here's the funny thing: with normal Ray, you draw more, so that's still acceptable. With Metal Ray, you don't. I mean, you still run a lot of Shamans, but I just don't feel you draw into as many good cards because you're cluttering your deck with
you just can't play the full speed engine of 4 Acro, 4 Trainers Mail, everything. You just don't have the room for it.
That's kind of the point I was trying to make, but I said it really awkwardly. Yeah. But yeah, that.
Okay. And then for my third pick, I'm going to pick a deck which hasn't been mentioned so far, just because this deck got hyped sort of at the beginning of when the set came out, and Ben, what are you doing?
I'm crossing my fingers, hoping it's not the one I have, because then I have to come up with another one.
Okay, so I know it's a really dramatic pause. I'm not convinced on Mega Sceptile.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
Don't worry, no one is.
Yeah. No, it's just so strange. I mean, that deck seemed like it had quite a bit of hype at first, but it's just not even in League Challenge. It's just been nothing. I don't get it. It's.
Rob actually did quite well with it.
Oh, did he?
He top 4.
Yeah, he top 4'd. He would have got first or second, but he lost by 1 turn to a Vespiquen.
Oh, okay.
And he beat 2 other Vespiquens.
Fair enough. I mean, it's not that necessarily the deck is bad. I think that's not fair to say, but I just don't think it's lived up to the hype it has had a little bit, and I'm just kind of wondering why that is. Maybe someone will make a decent list and top of regional of it. I don't know. But
we have a decent list.
Radar.
Sorry?
I think it's fallen off the radar.
Yeah, that's the word. That's the sort of phrase I'm looking for. It's fallen off the radar a bit.
Sorry, Ben. What were you going to say?
I was going to say I think I partially disagree and also partially agree. because I think the problem people have with Sceptile is that they're trying too hard to find a partner for it, and they don't realize that it's its own partner.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can just power up the North Sceptile or the Mega.
Yeah, and also
That's
I don't
Gimmick
think it's an autopilot deck either. I think if you want to if you've got this list and playing it properly is actually a little bit tricky.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an easy deck.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm very confident in the list I have, and I'm pretty sure Rob's going to be playing it at regionals, and I believe that
And that's our national champ.
Yeah.
That's our national champ. If he's not an idiot, if he's not an idiot on the day, I think he'll top 8 with it. He like when he practices a lot of the deck, which I think he's been doing.
Then yeah, he's got
well.
Yeah, definitely. Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. I just think that he won't see. Like, Rob might do well. Like what I was saying is obviously because it hasn't lived up to the hype, it won't be massively played, and they're probably not the best choice for everyone.
Yeah, but I also think that people haven't come up with the best lists for it either.
Yeah,
I could actually see like only Rob playing it a whole regional.
Yeah, possibly. Anyway, over to you, Ben.
Okay, my 3 decks. I was going to say Metal Ray as well, so I'll just say that first. I think, like you said, it's alright. It's alright. That's what you get for coming last in this. But I just feel like it's a deck that is quite hyped, but it's also just too. It's okay to play at a lot more local event because the competition isn't as high. But I feel like at regionals, the level of competition is higher. When you get to the later rounds, you're going to be facing better players, and they will understand the concept that there's no flow stone in the deck, and you really struggle against that. So I feel like at regionals, it's not the best play.
No.
The next deck, which saw a lot of hype, and I know Nick hyped it at one point, is Mian Shao.
Yeah. I just forgot about that because it's so bad.
Yeah.
I honestly kind of like after I played it at that one league challenge at Norwich, the one after the one I played Red Ice at, I kind of just discarded it because I sort of realised what's wrong with the deck.
Yeah, like you need to. Okay, I think it's maybe a bit of advice for people. Like, it's not the sort of deck you play at regional at all.
No, definitely not.
It's not. It can, even if it's consistent, the fact it just has such terrible matchups against something like Giratina, where your damage output is limited to 60 from a Howlucha and 40 from Yenshao, and you can't focus sash anything. You lose to anything with bats because they have resistance and they break your sash.
Yeah.
Like, a deck that has so many auto losses to decks that are very common is, I think, a big problem.
It's a sort of deck that, in the right meta, would be absolutely broken, but this isn't the meta where it's broken.
And it's regionals, like, you need to expect people to be playing the best decks, and one of the best decks is Lucario Bats and some sort of Giratina, I think. Like, whether it's the best deck or not, people will play it.
Yeah, but any bat deck just eats Mianshao for breakfast.
Yeah.
You know what I think of when I see Mianshao? It's like a clunkier Shaman loop deck, which does a bit more damage.
Yeah, that's basically what it is.
Yeah, it's a worse Dom fan.
Yeah, I mean, it's much worse Dom fan, but like the fact you pick the thing up and it does 40 damage, but you have Shaman and that does 30 damage.
Yeah.
You know, I just run Shaman loop with a muscle band, take my chances.
Yeah.
Right over Mianshao, which okay, it's got the focus sash, but the point is
more damage to be fair.
Yeah, I mean it can do with
the point is
all the buffs.
So what, sir? What did you say in that last point?
I can't remember.
Like, the idea of it is that you Mianshao into like a Mianfu sometime.
Yeah.
So that's focus sash. They knock off the focus sash, then you muscle band it and return it to your hand.
Yeah, that's fair. The only thing, like, I guess also because the format is a bit heavy, like against Shamans, there's enough stuff that does 110. So you probably can't loop Shamans quite the way you'd want to.
So I think, like with Mianshao, the idea is you're doing 40, then plus 20 of muscle band, plus 20 strong energy, plus 20 fighting. So it's 100 loop, which isn't bad. But
and then go to Mianfu with focus sash.
That's
the dream.
Yeah, that's the dream. But the dream doesn't always work out. Like, especially in how many rounds is it anyway? Regionals
7.
7. And how many do you need to win?
Like 5-2 probably doesn't make top 8.
Yeah, so the 5-1-1 is normal in record.
So me and Shell is not going to go 5-1-1. It's going to go like 4-3.
4-3,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's definitely a win or lose deck, I think.
Yeah. Okay. Like, yeah, I mean, also a Riodos could just shut it off if someone.
Yeah, Ridos as well.
Like, it just, like you said, you put up a Mienfu with the sash, but the fact is, like, after you do this loop for a bit, I mean, you have to keep eco-arming sashes and then draw them.
Yeah.
And can you really afford to play 4 eco on 4 sash? I've seen some decks doing it,
Yeah,
but
you
I've
do.
seen some cut down to like 2 eco.
I mean, the problem is as well, if they somehow get around the sash, that means you've lost one of your attackers as well.
Yeah, you've lost
So
your
you-
attack for the next turn,
So
basically.
you basically have to have 3 Mienfus on the field at a time, or like 2 and 1 in your hand.
Yeah.
Okay,
It's not
I've
very
spent way too long on a deck that I doubt anyone's going to play anyway. But
I've been trying it at League Challenges, I think. It's just not very good.
so I hope people realise that, like, unless even if you think you've broken the deck, no, you just haven't. It's not good. I'm sorry.
The deck was broken when it was made, I think. That was how it was.
Yeah.
So what's your third choice then, Ben?
My third choice is Groudon.
Oh, God.
Oh, right. Yeah, I forgot about that. It's good. It's a good pick.
Forget
Actually.
about it, but people still play it. People still believe it's good. I know Oliver Barnett personally believes it's
Yeah,
a
but
strong
he
play.
is Oliver Barnett, though, isn't he? So you know.
Oliver, if you're listening,
He was convinced at our league. Yeah, he was
And-
convinced at our league challenge that it was, at least 60-40 against the whole format.
And don't make a 58 card deck list again or write in 3 extra cards or whatever you did that time.
Yeah,
Stop it.
I mean, the reason it's bad, especially, is similar to Metal Ray, but worse. It's because there's no float stone.
Yeah.
So at any point, if you have a Wobbuffet on the bench, someone decides to Lysander it, you have to play AZ that turn. And
Which is like AZ is a card that Groudon just doesn't want to play anyway. So the fact that you have to run it is just awful.
I think, like, the other problem with it is that it's not good enough. Like, it doesn't beat Giratina, because even if you Hex Maniac, it isn't a stadium in play, and you can't play one, so you're stuck at 100 damage.
Yeah.
It's a similar thing of, like, Mega Ray against Giratina. Like, you're stuck at 150 one way or another. And I think other decks just do what it tries to do better nowadays. I think even Vespiquen does it slightly better.
As in just take big knockouts.
Yeah.
And, like, deny prizes, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they're better prize denial build up than take prize decks.
Yeah.
Like, I think Regice Vileplume is that.
That's fair.
Though your KOs take a few more turns, obviously, but
it just feels lacking, especially without float stone.
Yeah, I mean, in fact, this is what we can talk about next, I guess, because in the XY8 set, so I think we've reasonably covered the first 3 regionals. So here's
Is there anything else we want to talk about?
Oh, well, we can no, we can't really do a fantasy draft with just 3 of us here.
Oh,
No.
we can say who we think will do well.
Okay, well, I think week 1, Ryan's going to win with Luke Batts. Week 2, I think Ryan's going to win with Luke Batts. And week 3, I change deck and win then as well.
Okay.
Nah,
that's fair.
Yeah, I think. Whoa, Nick's really loud.
Sorry.
Too bad.
Too bad, Nick.
Yeah, sorry. Nick was telling us it's getting too long, and
obviously talking about Jake's penis.
He said it's the first time he's had this problem. Most of the ones he eats are too small.
I think it's fair to talk about next.
Yeah, let's talk about the next. I mean, it's not the next block, really. It's just the 3 after this set, isn't it?
Yeah, I guess so.
We're not talking about the whole other 6 regionals or whatever coming up.
Okay, guys, so let me think. What comes out in the set that's... Like, we'll do a set review. Don't worry, everyone. We will do that. It was a lot of fun. But let's...
Nick doesn't look too happy about that.
No, the reason why it's just I'm just trying to think through my head, and I honestly just can't think of like, I guess this could be the topic of discussion. I can't think of that much in the set that's going to impact the regionals results. I just don't think that there's that much in here. There's a few interesting cards, but there's nothing that's going to be like. There's nothing that's going to break the format.
I think there is, actually.
Let's punch Nick in the face.
I think there is, Nick. The problem is the cards that are going to break the format we've had for years already because they're reprints.
Yes, there we go. Yeah, that's fair.
To the best of my knowledge, the cards that are good in the upcoming set are Skylar, which is okay. Floatstone, yeah. Don't worry, Ben. I was getting there. I'd only said one card.
No, but you said the wrong card first.
No. I was starting with the weaker one.
Oh, okay.
Floatstone, Max Potion, apparently.
Oh, is Max Potion coming back?
Yeah, Max Potion's coming back.
I didn't even know that. Nick, and you said nothing changed the next.
I know, right?
What is wrong with you?
When I say nothing, I mean as in like in terms of actual new cards.
It's frozen on Nick's face. Look, with like his eyes half closed.
Am I frozen? Seriously?
No, it's fine for me.
It's fine. It's fine for Ben, but I'm just screen capping that.
Maybe I should have I guess I forgot about supposed to talk about reprints, but because when I think of the set, I tend to think about actual like new cards, and like sure these are cards which are coming back into standard because they're reprints, but they're not actually new cards. If you know. Yeah,
but they still change the format because they're.
The only other card, in my opinion, I can't remember about the Giovanni supporter thingy. Is that coming out in this set?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Oh, the 20 damage one.
But either it does an extra 20 damage, or you get to draw until you have 5 cards in your hand.
I think that's one that if you're running like a really tech-heavy supporter deck or something, you could probably fit in because it's a really interesting card. I don't think it's that great, but I don't know, it's got something to it.
Yeah. I actually think Brigitte is probably okay.
Oh yeah, Brigette's good, I think.
Yeah.
I mentioned Parallel City, by the way, but no one heard me.
Oh shit, how did I forget about that? Yeah, okay, that card breaks the
What does Brigitte do? Is that the 3 basics?
3 basics or an EX, so basically 3... Oh wait, it goes straight to the bench, doesn't it?
Yeah,
no, if you get an EX, it goes to your hand. If you get 3 basics, it goes to the bench.
Really?
Yeah.
So it's basically saying get Hooper.
Yeah, essentially.
That's really cool, actually.
In fact, that's okay because you can get a Mega, but then Hooper can get the Mega.
Yeah, just get Hooper.
So it's kind of halfway house with Fan Club.
No, it's not.
Like, because Fan Club just seems to do everything better except the 3rd basic. But they have to go to bench.
Yeah.
Like, Fan Club just seems better.
What non-EX is have a coming into play effect? Exactly.
I'm sure there's something.
I don't think it matters. I mean, the only thing is if you have a full bench and you want something in your hand, then you can't. I don't know. It just feels like something like Fan Club for Hooper and a basic, and then 3 more basics is just better. That's fair. 3 more EXs. Okay.
Oh wait, hold on. No. I need to make a correction. I just looked at the card again. It actually does just put the basic Pokemon EX straight on your bench. So that's lame.
Oh.
Alright, so it's basically just a worse card.
Yeah.
Okay. I think in expanded it might be better though.
Maybe for Vesperquin in expanded.
I wasn't even going to say that. I was going to say something dumb like Duran.
Oh god, yeah. It's actually true.
Duran is just collector, isn't it? That's true.
Yeah. So I think that would be cool. Whether it would be good or not is a different question, but
I think Durant could be speedier though.
Yeah. It's actually really. This is a really random point, but Brigitte is really good in Unlimited 150 because you can Sableye for it turn 1, and then you can't get your hand shuffled away, so you don't get the basic shuffled away.
No, because turn 1 you want to win the game.
No, Unlimited 150, the singleton format.
Okay, not quite unlimited then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so those are basically the good cards. Is there a list, Nick?
Yeah, sure. I can look one up.
Black Potion coming back helps Aromatisse be good again.
Yeah. The Parallel City is going to be very good. I forgot about that one actually.
City with Giratina. I think there's going to be, like you said, Nick, in our previous video, something about Giratina perhaps being broken at some point. I think Parallel City makes it good.
Yeah, well, one-sided giant stump is a bit unfair.
No, you know what's going to happen though?
What?
I know.
Card we're going to play now
Paint Roller.
Yeah.
People are going to play Paint Roller.
Play Paint Roller.
Yeah,
I
you're
think-
actually might have to.
Because honestly, at times it's basic. I mean, it's not really acro bike, but it's like nearly an acro bike. So whatever.
It's like an unknown.
Yeah, people play Unknown.
Yeah.
Okay, I think Paint Roller is actually playable if Parallel City's out.
If it becomes broken, we still don't know if it's like actually.
And
Yeah,
then, just so we don't turn too much into too much of a set review, we actually discuss all the actual decks. What decks do we think will emerge, or how will decks change? Like because of
Metal Ray, because
Metal
it'll have Floatstone now.
and
Maybe
Hooper.
Groudon.
Oh my god, Metal Ray with Hooper and Floatstone.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there's one more card I forgot to mention, which actually affects the Metal Ray. Zoroark, the Russian thingy.
oh yeah,
You can play that instead of how we played Keldeo before, and that obviously benefits with Floatstone a lot.
yeah, it's a bit awkward being
Wait,
stage one
what
though.
does Zoroark do?
It has the equivalent of Russian essentially as an ability, but it's on stage one.
It seems a bit weak on the stage one.
Actually, I think maybe I prefer it because if it's sure it could be Lysandered, but then they take one prize.
Right, but if they Lysandra Keldeo, it's normally not dying.
I think a lot of the time it is, right?
No, because then they just Lysandra a Shaman.
Ray can kill it, things like that.
Okay, Ray can.
It's very matchup dependent whether the Keldeo is actually doing
Like a
danger
Mega
or not.
Electric or something can't do it.
That's true.
So, like,
Yeah, maybe it's not good enough, but then again, you'd probably just run 3 Floatstone and Bronzongs.
yeah, I just wouldn't play it, I think. Maybe. Because
There
there's no laser
is-
as well to get around.
I think I'd still just play 1-1.
There is one more card actually, thinking about it, which does affect a few builds. Super Rod is coming back into standard.
Oh, Super
Is
Rod.
it?
Yeah,
Nice. I really
You
like
have no idea how happy that makes me.
I'd say same. Like it's such a healthy card to have in the game, and I'm glad that it's in standard now as well as expanded.
that. Helps. Yeah, that can help some things. Like you don't have to Sacred Ash stuff back in.
No,
I
that's
wish I had that last year with Flareon.
yeah,
Oh
that's the
god,
thing.
Super Rod. Oh my god, Super Rod with Manectric.
Yeah, exactly. Get more energy to
Such a good
attach.
card.
Yeah,
Wait, so let me think. Manectric gains Max Potion and Super Rod. Giratina gains
The Stadium.
Parallel City. Metal Ray. I mean, Floatstone is just an amazing card, really.
Giratina in theory also gains Judge if you think that helps that deck.
Oh, Judge, I forgot about that card.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't think it's as good as it was back in the past, though.
No,
'cause
but I think it's probably still decent though.
your deck back then was all search, and so you had 3 fewer cards, and then search the same number they did. But now 4, you'll probably just draw like Shaman, Energy, Pokemon, Sycamore, whatever.
Like, you draw like Ultra Ball.
No, you Compressor as well. Yeah, just to. And then you'll draw into the VS Seeker for whatever supporter you compress it away. Good stuff, guys.
Like, yeah.
I think loads of things. I think actually, is a way. I think Varplume can actually benefit a lot, and depending on how you build it, you can chuck in a couple of Floatstones to build.
Yeah. Floatstone before you evolve it to Valplin.
Yeah, before it evolves. It's a bit like. I mean, I'm
I
gonna
don't
call
think
you.
that's too much to ask for.
I'm gonna call you a stacker if you ever get that turn 1.
Oh, turn 1, yeah, okay.
So that's why I'm saying you have to build it a bit differently. So you probably even want it turn 2 or something now.
There is one more minor one we should mention. That town map is also getting reprinted, so that's going back into standard.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Don't
You
really.
know what? They're so lazy, but the
Yeah.
cards they've printed are actually okay.
Yeah.
I
Pretty
think
much.
again, town map is kind of cool in the Vespiquen Night March style decks, where your prizes, what you've prized, is really important.
I don't think I've ever rated Town Map or Alpha Lithograph as a card. Like, when I played Durant, I didn't play Alpha Lithograph.
It was pretty good in the Duran deck, though.
No, you just played Rotom instead.
Oh
You
yeah,
played- No, people played Rotom and Durant, so you choose which one to put on top of your deck.
I mean, and Alf.
Yeah, and Alf,
Yeah,
whatever.
I played both. I mean, when I just started online, because
Yeah.
I'd never buy an Alf Lithograph.
Yeah, I didn't play it. I had quite good success with Durant, and it just seemed unnecessary. Like, you're going to be Rotoming every turn anyway.
Wait, hold on. You say your dad had quite good success with Durant?
No, he said he did.
Oh,
Just
right.
I had. I said I had.
Oh,
Why would I say my dad?
Yeah, I don't know.
You mean my granddad?
Yeah, like I don't know. It's just a card I've never really rated.
Yeah, I mean, I still think it's a nice card to have. It's not
Yeah.
like a broken card or anything. It's just a good.
I'm happy because people play it in their deck instead of a good card.
So
Yeah,
then,
I guess. I mean, it feels like a 61st card kind of thing.
Yeah. So then, with all that in mind, do our predictions for the decks that will do well in the second half of regionals change that much based on what we know will come in?
Who wants to go first?
I'll go first. I think fairies will become good because of max potion.
Yeah.
I've done probably pair with Giratina because that's just so good.
Yeah.
Max potioning a Giratina every turn. Like, especially again, I think Manectric will get weaker because its damage output is limited to 110.
Yeah.
Max potion just cancels that.
Yeah, I think the fact is that I like about Manectric is that it can run max potion really well itself.
Yeah.
But then, of course, if other decks can run it, it's probably to better effect against Manectric.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's almost like more bad than good.
Yeah, I think bats go down a bit. Like, I don't think max potion is a bats killer because it was still good at Worlds, but I think, say if you get something 20 off, right now, if you get something 20 off a kill, they're only running, like most decks are only running like 1 AZ or something.
Yeah, and you can sort of plan turns ahead to the extent where you can think, okay, I'll put it there so leave it a goal back drop away from a KO.
I mean, there's also no N in this format, so you can't N away like a max potion or something. They can just hold it for multiple turns.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, they could search a max potion. Like, I mean, you could probably do some, like, pretty good plays where you search a max potion, make them place bat damage where they wouldn't normally, because knowing you'd max potion it off and then just max potion it off the other thing.
Yeah.
It's good. It's a good card. I mean, too strong, probably.
Yeah,
I think bats are gonna. It's weird because it comes out like in the middle of this block of regionals, so people are gonna have the cards they've already got for regionals and might not want to change decks or anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think fairies max potion. I mean, unless you're against a one-hit kill deck, have at it. Should be good.
So I think we can all agree on that as one of the choices then, because I'm quite happy to say that would be one of my choices as well for the reasons you all just listed.
I think the only problem with it is that new stadium can really hurt fairies because they do rely on quite a big bench.
Yes. So paint roller.
Yeah, paint roller.
I think Rayquaza is going to benefit because of the whole floatstone thing. When a Ray gets killed, you have to put like a Ray active, and you might not get the pieces together to attack.
I agree with you there.
Oh, yeah, I assume you're talking about Metal Ray more than anything.
No, just straight Ray.
Really?
Metal Ray as well.
Okay, because I never when I was playing Metal I was
really surprised.
Yeah, no, honestly, because I just don't think
it froze on your face again.
All the time I played Straight Ray, I don't think I've ever played Floatstone in it, so I just don't guess.
No, I didn't before Worlds, but I think I should have.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think
it
was a card that definitely felt missing from the deck. Like,
you also need to remember that this format, there's no like chorus for 16, so you're not going to draw all the pieces every turn.
No, yeah, I'll give you that. It's very true.
But yeah, even in Expanded, they're running like Keldeo floats right now in Ray, which I think's good. I think just float by itself is fine. Like float in Vespiquen Night March style decks are really good because your thing gets killed every turn.
Yeah, basically. I was going to say Night March. I think gets stronger now with floats.
Yeah. Oh, Night March I think comes back.
Yeah, I think it now becomes Bronzong Night March.
Yeah, it's Bronzong Night March in my opinion as well.
Yeah, and every time something gets KO'd,
send out the Bronzong.
Again, for the next 3 regionals, I expect Ryan Morehouse to win the first one with Night March Bronzong. The second one, he'll go back to Lucario Bats and only top 8, sadly. He'll be like, I want to try Lucario Bats. And we'll all go, Ryan, no, don't do it, Ryan. Don't do it. But he just will, and then he'll top 8, and I say, see, you only topped 8. And I probably come like 25th with, a deck I think's going to win.
And then he'll switch back to Vespiquen. No, and then he'll switch back to
March Bronzong,
and then he'll come second because he's going to lose to someone stupid in the finals.
Oh, he'll lose to Luke Kirkham in the finals playing Night March Bronzong.
Yeah. Okay. So Ben.
I was gonna say, like, I think Floatstone's gone up in popularity a lot because there's also a Hooper now.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's true.
it's a very,
So
very
you
good
can,
point.
so in expanded, obviously you Hooper Keldeo and you have Floatstone.
Yeah.
In Metal Ray, so Hooper, I don't know, Ray,
Same
Fame,
thing. Yeah. And
like,
I think you run Paint Roller. I'm not even joking. Over where you'd run, say, Acrobike or something, because Giratina's going to try and screw you with some stadium, and you need to get rid of it.
Yeah.
Like if Giratina plays Parallel City, you're capped at 90 if you Hex Maniac. You know, that's not
pretty.
great.
It's pretty rough. Yeah.
What? Maybe the Metal Ray does a bit better there because you can attack with Igi Slash or something like that.
yeah.
And
But
then
when Floatstone came out, I played 4 in PDK. I actually didn't play any at Nationals, but then at Worlds I played 4 Floatstones, 2 Keldeos. That's how much I rated the card, because you just had an ongoing Kyurem all the time then.
and then
There's
for
also
the
the Gothgore though, wasn't there?
Yeah, Gothgore, you needed it because Gothgore would, like, you needed 2 Keldeos and loads of floats as soon as possible
Yeah.
because you couldn't switch.
Didn't Rob just not play it at all?
No, he played Skylers and Switch.
Yeah.
I mean, he was right though, because there was no Gothgore to be seen.
Yeah. I think I told him at Nationals that I doubt Gothgore will make an appearance at Worlds.
Everyone just got so scared
Yeah.
after it winning.
Do you know what we actually played at one point? We played crap. I forgot what it was. I think it was an Espeon or something.
Oh, what the?
Yeah, we actually put a 1/1 line in.
I think I put 1/1 Espeon in
Yeah.
a lot of like Varplume type decks.
Oh no, we just did it in TDK.
I mean, this is back in 2012, but yeah.
I don't know, man. It worked okay. Yeah.
Maybe we need to revisit some old formats, I think.
possibly, yeah, it might be a good learning experience.
Yeah, so I think for regionals, I think there's 4 top decks really. It's TDK, Rails, Blastoise, and what's the other one? Darkrai.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They all have their own place. It's cool. Then you might get some kind of kooky sort of tier 2 but still good decks. Flareon, for example. That might make it somewhere. That came out recently in Dark Explorers.
Yeah. Maybe some sort of like
someone might bring something with that.
It came out Plasma Storm actually.
what did?
Flareon came out Plasma Storm, not Dark Explorers. It's a Plasma
no,
Pokemon.
actually, it was Plasma Freeze.
Or is it Plasma
That's
Freeze?
what I meant.
Yeah, one of them.
Yeah.
It's a Plasma
I don't know
Pokemon.
why I said Dark Explorers. See, I'm thinking of the pre-national set.
Because then you
One
said
year after the
Empoleon.
other.
Maybe
Sorry?
because you then said Empoleon.
Oh, yeah. That's why. I was thinking about Empoleon as well. Remember when Empoleon was really big for like one regional here? Because it won in France or something.
Yeah.
And then everyone stopped playing it when it didn't do well at all.
Yeah.
That was funny. Yeah, so I think Virgen's a strong pick.
This is going into.
No, Virgin does struggle with Camerupt.
Oh, Camerupt. Okay, someone's going to top 8 with Camerupt.
I think someone has to top 8 with Camerupt. I don't care how much Regice there is. Someone, one of you, not you, someone play Camerupt, please.
And then top 8 a regional with it, yeah.
Oh, yeah,
maybe one
maybe
one in the Netherlands.
Just everyone needs to know that basically decks should run at least 1 Hex Maniac.
Nick's faces.
For your Nick Pierce matchup.
Yeah.
Tell you what I've been liking more and more when I try it is like just as a sort of engine rather as playing like compressors in sort of any deck, not just the Pokemon discard ones.
Yeah, something that's been seeing like in Expanded, especially we're seeing a lot of the regional decks that are doing that because we get a toolbox engine you can have there, which is kind of neat.
Discard like some one-off supporters.
Yeah, but you play Archeops a lot of the time.
Yeah, I mean they do that for that reason. I'm saying even without this kind of stuff, I'm liking Compressor more and more for that reason. I did try Manectric list with only 2 Sycamore, but that was a bit of, what's the word?
That was a bit ambitious.
Ambitious, that's the word. A bit ambitious.
Yeah.
It's cutting down and having like 3 or 4 compressors, and then basically one of every supporter in format. It was okay. It works, sort of.
Wait, I just want to say, do we have like a third deck that we think will be a good pick for the post breakthrough regionals, or do we not really think of anything?
So what did we say? Do we mean new decks?
We didn't really discuss anything complete, did we?
Yeah, we just mentioned that Metal Ray and something else would get better because of
Night March.
Yeah, that was it.
Very.
We said Night March as well. There you go.
Yeah.
Well, Pokemon trainers, this is Jaywitz here. Yeah, that's basically it. Like,
you are the best tricks I suggest you profit. You're the best.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Okay,
Can we? I've got an idea.
No, we're not. We're not going to edit that, Nick.
I have an idea for another thing we can discuss.
Oh yeah.
Order of commentators at US events.
Easy. Exabytes. Everyone else.
Oh wait,
Exabyte above everyone else?
No, exabytes. Everyone else.
Was he at the recent regional?
No, he wasn't.
Oh, I'll tell you what. I like Kenny. I like his style. It's because I'll tell you why I liked it. Right, Puka is kind of the straight and narrow man. He's gonna say what happens.
Yeah.
Jaywitz is like fumbling around trying to joke, and it's a bit annoying. Yeah. Crims is actually funny sometimes, and he's like always gets things a bit wrong or forgets a card, and that actually is fun when he's with Puka.
Yeah.
And Kenny was kind of because he's more a player.
Yeah.
Like I thought he was actually really because he just said in a kind of dry way this thing. He didn't like try and make it like Jaywitz is like an embarrassing dad.
Yeah.
Kenny Wisdom's a bit like the sort of slightly annoyed teenage son.
The pedo uncle. Oh.
I mean what? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So ordering them. Puka obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe Kenny and Crim's joint, then Jaywitz.
Then Jaywitz, then the other guy.
Who was the other guy?
No. Actually, you're missing a few steps. So you have
Professor N above Exabyte as well.
Oh, you have. There's like several steps above Exabyte. You have like Professor N, and then you have Oliver Barnett. Then you have like the random dude from GameSpot, which is doing commentary on the 2012 finals or whatever. Then you have Trash Claw, and then like above that you have a polished turd, and then
Oh wait, are we including? Okay, I think number.
Oh god, why did you do this?
Number 1 of all time, personal favorite, and not because I think he's good necessarily. I just really like hearing his voice. It soothes me to sleep, and that's our good friend Ross Gilbert.
Yeah, he's below Exabyte.
I think.
Oh no! Sorry, Ben. You can't say that. This is not fair.
I think he soothes me to sleep. It's like he's giving me, it's like he's rocking me in his arms whenever I hear his voice.
And then as a wake up call in the morning, you go, "Good morning," or depending on what you listen to this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night.
When he says good morning, I don't hear that. I hear hello, Jake. Every time he says that, I just hear hello, Jake instead.
He's a teacher, so I hope he does it to all his class.
Oh god, I can't. I'd love to just sit in a class and he just goes, "Good morning," or depending on when you're listening to this. I think he should do that in his own classes. See if anyone catches on.
Yeah.
Didn't he say at some point that the students found out he did these podcasts? And they tried to laugh at him about it, and then he just went, "Yeah, I did. It's good." And then that was it. What can they do there? Though, when they found out, he had to keep his Twitter private for a bit.
Yeah,
I remember that. Ads from. Did we finish the recording yet? By the way,
I just left it running. We can just go. So until next time, this is Xanadu TCG. Goodbye and good night.
All right, should I do the sign off?
Yeah, you do sign off.
Sign off.
Did Jake freeze?
I'm going to take that as a no.
Yeah, I think you froze for him.
I said, Ben, do you want to do the sign off?
Oh, no.
Okay. All right, guys. Well, basically, try like we're not going to give a proper summary of good and bad decks because we sort of did that. Try and like find the bits of the video where we said good things, and then use those decks, or don't. Do what the hell you like. I don't care. I don't give a shit. Just play some stupid shit for. Play Dragonite. Someone play Dragonite. Someone play Sceptile, Mega Manectric Dragonite. Someone do that. I know you don't have Tornado CPO anymore. That was the card, boys. But just play Dragonite, please. Someone. I want to see some
Oh,
busted.
you meant Dragonite EX?
Yeah, of course I mean Dragonite.
I thought you meant Dragonite from Roaring Skies.
No one play that. It's bad. But Dragonite EX, like I want to see some Vileplume deck and someone. I like stand as someone's Vileplume. And I'm like, oh, there's 2 grass on the board for some reason. And then they go, slam it down, bust in, attach lightning.
Game.
That's what I want to see.
Make it happen for Jake.
Okay?
Yeah.
I want to, like, and I don't care if you do 80 to 120 damage, and that's probably not good enough anymore. That 2 hits Megas and EXs and all the format. It's 2 hit everything. Even Crobat.
What about Mega Groudon Hard Charm?
That can't exist with Vileplume, dude.
Oh, okay.
You can't
Well,
get
Hex Maniac and then Hard Charm.
You can't get the hard charm before my guaranteed turn 1 Vileplume because
What about Hex Maniac?
What's that?
Hex Maniac Hard
Oh, no
Charm.
one's gonna play
Nick's
that.
favourite card.
No, because it doesn't matter because you're running Sceptile.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, where are you going to get the grass energy from, Ben? Come on, think it through.
Okay.
Yeah.
Gave me an idea for expanded, Jake.
Oh god. Okay, we'll just play some deck, do something. It's
Just
fun.
have fun, dude.
Build a deck.
Don't play Hex Maniac.
Play
Hex
Hex Maniac. I don't know. If ask me about decks if you want, but I hate you all, and I'm not very good at building them. So, I mean, my idea of a good deck has 29 Pokemon.
Yeah. Bug
And I
Nick.
stand by that.
Bug me. Yeah, sure.
Yeah,
Send him non-stop messages. Doesn't have to be about Pokemon, just anything.
send him like Nick loves nudes. If you send him nudes,
Yeah.
he's like he actually has a stock and collection. It's becoming a crime to not send him them. I think.
Yeah.
So-
I mean, we all have in TCG.
Like it's now against the law to not. So.
Yeah, the cake law.
Oh, I didn't make the law. I just enforce it.
Oh, okay. Didn't realize. My
David,
bad.
It's been the longest signing out, I think.
Yeah, just have fun. I hope to see many of you at regionals. Not Alex Dow though. Well, I'll see him, but he won't see me. So.
So, goodbye,
There you go.
everyone.
That's
I'm gonna
fine.
Jake's going back to the happy farm now. So,